hive cluster is under attack.
Live for the swarm.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today on Pantheon, going to be one heck of a TVZ between Ridesky and Action. Bottom left, it is a Ridesky. Bottom right, it is Action. We know both of these players. Action has a longer resume, but that doesn't mean he's going to win this game here. So, are we going to see Mech from Ridesky? Are we going to see Devourers or Guardians from Action? Probably not. If you want to see Guardians, last week I posted a game featuring, not Scan, it was Speed. Yeah, Speed versus Zealot. Featuring Guardians, featuring Ensnare. If you want a link to it, let me know and I will respond to it in the comments with a link right to that game. Because yes, I do read every comment anyone ever makes. So it's going to be a TVZ here. Maybe not featuring those units, but maybe it's going to be a long macro TVZ. Maybe it's going to be a sneaky twofer. You do not know. Ooh, it's going to be a little bit of a proxy here, like a super baby proxy here, man. Just a little bit closer to wherever the Zerg player is, because it doesn't know where he is, right? It's a 4-player map. Could be here, could be here, could be here, could be cross-spawn, could be a short rush distance. We do not know. Ridesky does not know. We know, but Ridesky does not know. So, it's going to be a supply depot walling off, a barracks out in front here. The Overlord is going to try to scout without getting spotted by these SCVs from Action, who is known as the Macro Zerg, but sometimes he does a pool first play, but not right now. It's going to be a hatch first here at 12 supply. Let's see if this Overlord is going to get spotted by these SCVs or these buildings here. So the Overlord being very careful. He's right here, so nope, we can't see it on the high ground. And this is an important part, scouting without being seen in StarCraft Brood War. But the SCV, a double SCV scout here, there we go. So excellent job there. He sees the supply depot, but okay, fair enough. This SCV as well are scouting. So double SCV, hope to remain unscouted after a double SCV scout. Nope. So this SCV says, okay, it's a hatch first. Hurry. Let's get these Marines across the map here. It's a short rush distance. These drones are like, uh-oh. I see the barracks positioning here. So it's going to be a bunker rush here from Ridesky against my hatch first. We have 2 SCVs and 2 Marines against like 6 or 8 drones. Excellent control here from Action. Dude, shutting it down. Okay, so both the Marines are dead. Spawning pool done. Immediately making Zerglings. Okay, not immediately making Zerglings, just making drones. Wow, okay, 1 set of Lings here. Not immediately, but like 5 seconds after the danger is over here. Very confident was Action that he can shut down that with just drones. Man, that was clean shutdown here. Ridesky says, all right, lifting up the barracks and then landing it for a wall. Countering Lings now cannot get through here. Expanding. Here is a Ridesky. Action. Taking a gas at his natural base. Not as main. So first gas at his natural. Saturating it with, there you go, 3 drones. Fully saturating the gas at his natural here. What are we trying to hide here? Supply depot. And I think it's going to be an academy here. No gas. So it's going to be an SK Terran opening to this follow-up to the opening of a bunker rush. And I guess if you scan the main base, you don't see the gas, but a gasless opening here is not very good against Terran, so I don't know what the purpose of that second gas or the first gas on the second base is. We have an engineering bay and a refinery, so it's going to be a +1. Yeah, there's the academy as well. +1 attack here from Ridesky, maybe a timing attack. And yeah, I think... yeah, it's going to be a timing attack, right? You don't get +1 attack against a Zerg player this early unless you're planning to use it on a timing attack here in about 3 or 4 minutes. So fully saturating the gas here as well is Ridesky. Hit that like button if you're excited to see what the heck is going to go on here on Pantheon in a TVZ featuring these 2 players. I am excited to see what we're going to get. And there's the +1 attack infantry weapons, as they call it officially in the game. We got metabolic boost coming in. The layer's just about finished. The second gas saturated. There we go, main base gas getting saturated here too. So feels like going to be a lot of mutas from our guy Action, as we do traditionally here. Nothing too crazy. Second rack's coming in. We're getting stim. The +1 attack is about 10% done. Everything lining up quite nicely from both of these players. There's the Spire timing at about 5 minutes. It's delayed because of the fact that the drones had to come out and deal with that bunker rush. But, you know, otherwise, this would be a lot faster. Drone heading up this way saying, can we get a third base up in the top right here without Ridesky doing anything about it? Well, that's what these Lings are for. That's what this Overlord is for, to scout and see if Ridesky is out on the map at all. Maybe trying to shut this third base down early. There's not. Absolutely nothing happening. So Action going to take a nice and easy casual third base. Now, I always say, let's escort these drones and these probes and these SCVs when we expand. But you know what? In this situation where Action's doing such a good job checking out what's going on here. There's a scan of the main, sees the Spire. Doing such a good job checking out where the Terran is, when they're moving out, that he can do this. He can go ahead, go for the expand. Nothing's going to delay it. The push out happens. The Lings see it. They see the medics. They recognize, okay, stim is probably done by now. The +1 attack's 50% complete. Range upgrade for the Marines is coming in. So we need Sunkens here. We pray he doesn't go to the third base because we do not have anything near Mutalisks needed to deal with this. Although the Spire is finishing and 2 mutas get fired up, 6 mutas get fired up here. You got to defend both positions, right? Third base and the natural base. It's sunken. Oh my gosh, that sunken timing was absolutely on point. Absolutely on the point here for Action. Beautifully done. 2 Sunkens up, 1 finishing just as the Marines show up. It's another scan. He's like, oh, there's a third base up there. Let's go try to kill it. Now, these mutas, 10 mutas are going to be needed to deal with this immensely. There's nothing else on the map right now that can save that third base. And if the third base dies, then Action dies. So here we go. It's the charge up the right side. These Lings are just keeping an eye on them, trying to see where they are so the mutas can jump on them as soon as possible. Also making, I'm going to guess, a drone here, trying to get a sunken up maybe. Stims in, and he's like, okay, now we got to deal with Mutalisks on our tail, and maybe the thing is going up the ramp necessitates you kind of going in single file and thinning out here. You want to fight in a giant ball against these Mutalisks. Although giant ball, there's more than one. Yeah, like there's going to be more than one Mutalisk for each Marine here when all these mutas get up, but more reinforcing Marines are coming up here too. Nice hold. Action's got it. Yeah, he shuts it down. Killing these medics is going to be really big just because if they connect with these Marines, they're force multipliers, but I think everything's going to get shut down. He's not even microing his mutas. That's how you know he's confident that he's got this battle won. Shuts it down, leaves these medics to think about their lives. More dudes coming across the map. I'm not sure if that's the right move here from Ridesky. I'm looking at it, and I'm saying there are 10 mutas out here. Well, okay, not in this particular location. Did he lose that many? He made 10. Did he lose 5 of them already? Ooh, maybe a little bit sloppy here from Action. Getting a Queen's Nest, getting a Lurker Den. Further upgrades coming in here from Ridesky. Maybe Ridesky's killing more Mutalisks than I thought. I mean, the Marines are dying, so you're trading out this way. Marines are dying, mutas are dying, third base is secure, and I think that's the main thing. You'd obviously like to kill all these dudes without losing any Mutalisks, but that's pretty much impossible against somebody as good as Ridesky, you know, or better, obviously. So, interesting. I don't know about this. This is a little bit dicey for these Mutalisks. The production here from Ridesky has been impressive. He's got like half the APM, well. He's got 2/3 of the APM here. That Action does. Creep colony. He knows that maybe this ball is going to get big enough that he can't handle the Marines without having any lurkers, but hey, he's got that too. Like, yeah, cancel that. Build some Hydras here. Lurker up the top of the ramp, and you're going to be safe for a while until siege tanks show up or until irradiates happen. And check it out. Starport. Wait, triple starport. What? He doesn't have an armory, does he? He's not trying to go Valkyries and Science Vessels. That's way too much gas on 2 bases. It's a triple starport with a control tower. So drops probably and Science Vessels on the follow-up here from Ridesky. That's interesting. I like it. I like it very much here, Ridesky. Triple starport is definitely weird. And what the? Or just 3-port Wraith? Hold on. This is a little bit weirder. Yeah, he's going 3-port Wraith. as a transition at 10 minutes after his SK Terran opening. I don't know about this. Hive's on the way. Dark Swarm really shuts down Wraiths against the ground, and Plague can reveal them as well and hurts them immensely. Ooh, the whole point of Wraiths is that you get there when the Terran doesn't have good anti-air options, and now they've got good anti-air options. There are Mutalisks, there are Hydras out. You can build Scourge pretty quickly. The Defilers, as previously mentioned, are incredibly good. You can snipe down Lurkers with the Wraiths, but not if there's Dark Swarm protecting them, and we're not too far from that. But is this like a timing attack where he shows up with the Wraiths, kills these Mutas, and then starts sniping down the Lurkers, and then the third base dies? Nidus would be good. Nidus is coming in. Action is on top of this right now. Defiler Mound finishing up. Another Macro Hatch inside the main. Love that from him. Again, Macro Zerg going for another Macro Hatch. Beautiful. Evolution Chamber coming in for further upgrades from the Zerg player. And just a big ball of Marines. 1-1 on those dudes. The Mutalisks have no upgrades whatsoever. We are spending our gas on ground upgrades. Adrenal. We're getting +1 ground Carapace. We're getting Consume for the Defilers. Macro Hatch. Yeah, I don't know. I feel good about Zerg players when they make Macro Hatches. It's kind of just one of those things. Really helps them use that larva, spend effectively. So the giant Wraith Ball. It's 3 poor Wraith. It's so many Wraiths right now. This is insane. Ridesky flying into the third base with Wraiths. He's going to try to snipe the Nidus down. There's no anti-air here at all. He immediately throws up a creep colony to try to get Spore up. The Nidus gets sniped. He scans in. He's going to burn down these Lurkers as fast as he can with the Wraiths. Their attack speed is not that good, but, you know, they'll get there eventually. He cloaks up when the Mutalisks arrive. He's trying to park the Lings on top of the Lurkers so that they can't be targeted. The Lings jumping in there. The Marines coming up the ramp. There is still a Lurker here. Can they kill the one Lurker? It's getting 10 kills, but yes, they do. He busts up the ramp. Ridesky, what an absolutely non-traditional, very weird way to get up a ramp into a third base using Wraiths to do it, but he's here. The Nidus is dead. Sunken's no new Nidus coming in. This is massive for Ridesky. Has he changed the meta in StarCraft Brood War? That was incredible. Yeah, this third base is done. Action's on 2 bases. He's extremely upset about this. Obviously, Lurker bust coming the other way. But guess what? There are more Wraiths here. They're ready to they're ready to shut down the Lurkers. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. Dude, Ridesky, come on. And then holding the top of the ramp here. So reinforcements can't get over here for these Lurkers very much. We need more scans. We need like a science vessel. Like, that'd be nice. Science facility is done. Wraith. Production tab says no science vessels. But he scanned up, forced them to run. Gonna snipe one of them down. They split up. Doesn't kill that one. 3 hit points on him. Third base has to lift because the Lurkers are here too. This is chaotic, but it is a 2-basing Zerg versus a 2-basing Terran. Ridesky is in control of this game here at 13 minutes, but Action, I think, is the better player. He's got the better resume. How can he possibly come back from the situation? Dude, in all my years of casting StarCraft, I don't know that I've ever seen a 3-port Wraith transition at 10 minutes to deal with the Lurkers. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's working so well. Action has no idea what to do. He's getting a third base closer to home. He's got Hydras out. He's got Spores up. He's got Defilers. Okay, he does know what to do. But I'm just saying, I think he's caught entirely off guard by the strategy. The third base of Ridesky is up and functional. 53 to 39 workers right now. You can snipe Overlords with these Wraiths. They're like Corsairs, except they can shoot down. And they can be invisible by themselves without an Arbiter. Yeah, wow, trying to bust up this ramp was a bad idea. Gonna Dark Swarm those suckers too, I guarantee, if the Wraiths come back. So now Dark Swarm is out, but there was a tiny little window where Dark Swarm was not available. The third base was vulnerable. The Wraiths took perfect advantage of it. Plague-oo! Massive Plague-oo on the Wraiths. Cloaks up, you're still revealed. Even if you're cloaked when you are plagued, yeah, those Hydras come in. 1 shot on a plagued Wraith, dead. One shot on another Plagued Wraith, dead. Coming up the left side, Ridesky to a 4th now. Science vessels are out. Does he have a Radiate? I can't imagine he doesn't have a Radiate yet, but I haven't been watching the production tab closely enough to tell you for sure. Is it a mech transition? He's got 2 factories. He's getting siege mode. Maybe? Or maybe he's just doing kind of a hybrid. Oh my gosh, he's expanding up here again. He says the Zerg player's all turtled up on 3 bases. I'm going to get a 4th base and a 5th base. Let's see him try handling that. I don't know. That might be overextending a little bit here. Action's pretty scary. He shows up with like some Dark Swarm Hydra stuff up here and everybody dies. There are no fire bats. There are no siege tanks. There aren't that many science vessels for irradiates either. It's another scan. Sees what he's dealing with here. It's what it was there before. It's just 3 lurkers, couple cracklings with 0-1 upgrades and a defiler. I don't think Zerg player knows what's going on. He does not have vision on the left side of the map. He doesn't see this double expand play from Ridesky paying off immensely. Okay, 64 workers. 64. Here for Ridesky. He's repairing his Plagued Wraiths. What a great commander he is. Yeah, it's a 60 supply lead for Ridesky. I'm telling you. Wraiths, the new meta. The new meta in StarCraft. Although, look, if you always do Wraiths, then the enemy just makes mass Hydra, and then everything dies, right? So the point is, you got to keep nice Plague. You got to keep the Zerg on their toes. You can't do it all the time. A Zergling shows up to the top left and says, oh, you do have a base up here. Then the Wraiths show up, but there's Dark Swarm Hydra covering them. Good synergy. Dark Swarm Lurker Hydra against the Wraiths are fantastic. So this is why the Wraiths kind of lose their effectiveness over time. Killing an Overlord, killing a drone would be nice. Finishing off that drone. It's 1 drone, I know, but it's a big deal. Snipe that Overlord. Snipe that Overlord. Can't quite get it. This one they can get. They don't have any upgrades. We're not upgrading them. Who cares? Nidus Network. Nidus can now sniped at this base too. Dude, there's nothing here but a Spore to defend that 3rd base against these Wraiths. I mean, Spore's probably going to get the job done, but still. Crackling up into this base, he says, yeah, this SCV saturation is concerning. It's 70 workers. Lurker spining. Okay, so yeah, this whole base dies to Hydra Lurker. Dark Swarm shenaniganry. Action says, you're expanding a bunch. Let me take a 4th base up here and maybe double expand to the top right to get a 5th base. While I'm at it, nice Plague on the Wraiths again. They're playing with fire sticking around here. They snipe a Defiler. They get an Overlord. They lose a couple of Wraiths on the way out. I think better angling, better pathing. They could have gotten out of there without losing a couple of those Wraiths, but I think maybe the time of the Wraith is over. He's not sending them home. He doesn't seem to want to repair them. He's just kind of hanging them out to dry. We've got siege tanks. We've got Marines now. They're going to be better against these Hydras than the Wraiths have been over the last 5 minutes, obviously. And then, yeah, what a beautiful tech switch into tanks. Beautiful. I mean, look, keeping these guys alive to snipe Overlords, not a bad use for them. Nice Plague eating this group to the south. Siege tank shots. Historically problematic for Hydralisks. Action. Maybe trying... Oh, yeah, he did try to take this top right base, but there are 2 Marines up here with 2-1 upgrades. Absolutely not. Burrows on the way from action. Kind of surprised we didn't have that earlier. Bit of a Ling Lurker. It's a race to get on the top of this high ground here. Action gets to the high ground first and gets a Dark Swarm up. He kills that Hydra. New SCV's evacuation here is not a good idea. The Lurker spines are absolutely insane. Action trying to get back in this game. 65 to 57 workers. It was 70 workers from Ridesky just a minute ago, if not more than that. Another expansion down from action appears to be happening, but the race to this high ground was important, and action won it, and now this base is not happening. That's okay. We have these ones, says Ridesky. We'll be just fine on 65 workers. Don't you worry about it. The Wraiths are coming home, maybe to be repaired. Maybe not. Who knows? They're here to... Oh, there you go. Here to snipe this Defiler. It's so nice to be able to handle Lurkers this way. I'm loving it. I am loving this game from Ridesky so much. I'm going to epic tag this game just for the fact that Wraith Bust alone. The Wraith Tech alone. Nice, huge Dark Swarm. Double Dark Swarm. You can't make a bigger Dark Swarm than normal, but it kind of feels like it is if they're connecting that way, huh? Yep, siege tanks, catching those Hydras. You thought you were protected. Nice Plague from the south, though. Action watching the army back up and says, oh, you're backing up into my territory. Let's go ahead and toss a plague down. Coming up in another Lurker Dark Swarm attempt. Is there actually a Defiler here? There's only one bunker, which isn't actually enough to hold this even without Dark Swarm. Engaging, Lings running up, tanks are getting killed. Another great Dark Swarm. Another tank gets wiped out. Charging in, like I said. Oh, nice Irradiates, though. Irradiates changed the whole thing. He does get a Dark Swarm up. Where was that Defiler? I totally missed him. Getting outside of the swarms is Ridesky doing his best here. Every Lurker got irradiated? Yes. And, oh, that Hydra tried to get inside the swarm, but was too late. Could have made it, but was too late getting inside the protection and the safety. Base down south here from action. Top right, still not happening from action. This isn't happening from action either. But better economy, better base count. This one sort of getting saturated. These Wraiths did end up taking out those Lurkers. They are still at 3 hit points apiece because of the plagues. Could really use a repair here. But Ridesky's APM is only about 260. He doesn't have extra APM to repair those guys at the moment. He's trying to control his tanks and his Marines to the best of his ability. He's doing both. He's producing tanks and Marines. This is not a mech play. This is an everything play. Marines, fire bats, siege tanks to deal with the Hydra meta. The Hydras are here because of the Wraiths. It's kind of a brilliant move. That is such a good engagement by Action. Shuts that down. And yeah, Action is getting back into this game. He's won every major engagement we've seen on the map. And he's probably going to win this one too. Nice Plague. Oh my gosh. All right. So, Lurker Spines on Plague units. Peanut Butter and Jelly for Zerg. And then they just wander over here into the 9 o'clock. We'll shut that one down too. So Ridesky had a massive advantage. He was up after killing the third base. He was up after expanding doubly up the left side of the map. But now Ridesky, yeah, trying to attack up this way, but then Action expanded a whole bunch, is the better player, is using spells more effectively than Ridesky is. The Irradiates need to be coming in so much faster. Maybe don't just stand there and get plagued on every one of your science vessels and all of your Marines. Maybe recognize that's a threat. Yeah, gotta lift the command center, but guess what? The Hydras don't care about that. They don't be caring about you lifting. Bam, CC down. I think Action's gonna make a comeback here, folks. Losing your third base in a TVZ is pretty much a death sentence, but Action is just so much of a better player. His spell casting, oh my gosh, he's chasing the science vessels down. They're not even running. Ridesky, no. Ridesky, no. Ow. Is that one Lurker? Oh my gosh, it is. He tried to take out that Lurker, couldn't do it. Doesn't have enough energy for an Irradiate down to this, whatever this base is, to the south of Actions. There's no gas here, so it matters not as much. You'll take minerals, though. Action only has 300 of them. Nice Plague. And this attack is not cleaned up. Action thought he had enough to clean it up. He didn't. Kind of like back here. Ridesky thought he had enough to clean that up, and he didn't. So hatch down for a command center. It's trade one for the other. High ground. What belongs to the Zerg? The high ground belongs to the Zerg here. Yeah, fire bats all over the place right now. Siege tanks against Lurkers are usually pretty good. That Lurker dies. This Lurker's irradiated. He's going to die anyway. Takes a siege tank shot, put him out of his misery, rather than dying terribly by irradiation sickness. Sounds like a pretty tough way to go. High ground, fire bats, siege tanks doing their best to get up there. Unsieged tanks can't do it very well, though, by guy. We're relying on the fire bats for an awful lot here. But okie doke. 183 to 155 supply. Ridesky is up. This has been one heck of a TVZ on Pantheon. My goodness. Tap that like button if you enjoyed this one. Subscribe too. Trying to get to 69,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we can get there. It's October. We've got some time. Siege tanks have +1 attack. The Hydras, getting consumed. No attack upgrades for the Lings, intriguingly. Find a Lurker. There we go. 2, 3 upgrades for the Lurkers and the Hydras. Marines, 3, 2. Irradiates, yes. Science vessels kind of need to be on the move. They're sort of like Mutalisks. The more they're on the move, the less likely they are to die. Holding still is bad for them. Yeah, this group's dead too. Action, just every single engagement that we've seen over the last 5-6 minutes has pretty much gone to action. That southern base died, yes. Nice plague again. His plaguing and his dark swarming have been so good and so consistent, and the irradiates have been really hit and miss. All these medics are gonna die. It takes a minute if you don't have lurkers just because they're tanky and they've got the healing going on. Like, medics healing each other are the tankiest thing in the entire game. You might think it's Ultralisks with chitinous plating. Nope. It's medics healing each other. They take so long to kill. Ooh, and then we get drops. Remember I promised drops earlier and then they didn't happen? Okay, this is just a horrible. Nope. Probably not working. Probably not working. Probably not happening is, I think, what my brain was trying to say there. But look at this. Left side, pretty set up. And Ridesky says, in the long run, man, if you want to split the map in half, I'll do that. 6 o'clock base belongs to Ridesky. So he's got more bases than the Zerg player does. Boxer maneuvering up at the 4th or whatever it is, but he's got... Ow. He's got the burrow, which is exactly how you shut down the Boxer maneuver, is the burrow. Also, Scourge wiped out the Science Vessel. So Ridesky, not someone who's going to win an ASL anytime soon. Not that action really is either these days, but it's turning into one heck of a game, nevertheless. More drops coming across. Tank, what the heck is that tank? What is that tank? How is there one tank sitting in the middle of the map by himself? Tanks are good, but not when they're entirely unsupported. Yeah, these tanks are pretty much unsupported as well. Sieging up. Sieging up. Left side base gonna die again. Plague on the tanks is so good, but you gotta get close enough to attack them before they can die, even if they have been plagued. Science vessels need to get, I don't know, something. They don't have irradiates available. They don't have D-matrixes available, but sure. They're here for detection, and sometimes that's all you need. Scourge just kind of parking over Marines. Not ideal. Actions control a little bit sloppy there, too. But again, it's a lot going on here in this game. 300 APM for, well, yeah, 300 APM from action, 242 from Ridesky. They're both kind of lagging a little bit as they are getting more and more tired. Is there a lurker in? He just pushes through the Dark Swarm. Nicely done. And then another Dark Swarm comes in. Action was ready for that. It was like bait. He's like, hey, push in through the Dark Swarm. And then the Marines are like, okay. And then they died. But, oh, one lurker. Yeah, absolutely. Going to take those Marines out. Lurker burrowing on top of these tanks. He dies before he can really get in there. Too much. This plagued tank has 2 kills. And a Ling pops him. Pops him real good. This guy's got 8 kills with 1 hit point. And also gets popped by Lings. And action is holding here. Another attack coming up. We've got another attack top left. A plague on the command center. And all of these SCVs is interesting. I'll give you that. Lurker egg morphing inside the Dark Swarm. Unstoppable. We're going Boxer maneuver again. You understand that the burrow is here, right? Scourge don't take... Okay, Scourge take down every science vessel that matters. Radiated Lurker down south. Still another attack pushing up here into the top right. Ridesky just has the better economy. Oh, then he brings a Lurker in on the plagued SCVs and gets 15 kills on this Lurker. What a play. What a play. Blings barely holding on the top side. Reinforcing Zerg showing up. Reinforcing Marines and medics getting picked out across the map. More marching across the map. There are overlords running around. Do they have stuff in them? No, is it a fake drop? Maybe it is. This base down here looks like it's getting dropped, but totally a fake drop. He's trying to, I think, distract the dude into coming to defend the 6 o'clock, but I don't know that Ridesky is buying it. It's 130 to 130 supply at 28 minutes. That's what kind of game this is. That is what kind of game we're looking at here today, folks. Yeah, action. Every time there's an engagement, he's able to clear it. Every time there's a drop, he's able to clear it. Every time there's a Boxer maneuver, he shuts it down. Action was in a lot of trouble to start this game, but he has just made time and time again better and better decisions, better and better execution, and he is winning this game. And I think he's going to win it from here if I had to put money on it in a mid-game bet kind of a thing. But the cracklings are on top of the SCVs. Oh, man. More SCVs are dying. It was like 65, 70 workers for Ridesky at one point. We're all the way down to 55 now. He's probably lost more than 15 workers. He's been rebuilding them as they've been killed and kind of changes the whole thing. But yeah, then he finally comes in. The SCVs are like, took you long enough to get here, guys. Thinking about expanding up here action. That'd be really nice for him. Ridesky scanning up. Says, can I just walk across the map and get an attack off? Am I going to get attacked first? Am I going to get intercepted by something? I certainly hope not. And he's trying his best. So he's going to defend the 6 o'clock. Run out. Ridesky has a little bit more money than Action does, but it's not a ton. SCVs need to get to work at the top left base. Come on, man. Come on, Ridesky. You got 3 SCVs that could be getting minerals right now, and you definitely need the minerals. Is this a real drop? Real drop. Definitely a real drop. Drops from our Zerg. Don't see drops from Zerg nearly enough, considering all of their overlords could be turned into drop ships. Oh, nice plague. And, okay, Siege Tanks seem to be cleansing everything inside that Dark Swarm, except for a couple Zerglings. All right, cool. That's not something to worry about. That got shut down pretty easy. And then we're going to just drop lurkers behind the mineral line here. The Defiler has to burrow. Gets a Dark Swarm up. Defiler dies, but the Dark Swarm is here, and the lurker inside the Dark Swarm is unkillable unless it's in the right place, which it is not. These lings are not a problem. The lurker is a problem down here. What a play. And then he gets a ling in here. Oh, he can shut down this command center, and he does. He comes up here with the lings. He's got a +1 attack on the lings now. +2's coming in, too. So, I mean, these lings will be a little bit better. I mean, we already have Adrenal. Just kind of an incremental attack upgrade situation there after that. Science Vessel, not enough energy for Irradiate, as per usual. Coming down to the 6 o'clock, trying to shut it down here. Action again. Dematrixing a Marine in there. Dematrixing a Firebat's kind of a better deal, but then the Plague. Action has cast 37,000 Plagues this game, and they've all been really good. He saves the 6 o'clock. 12 o'clock is done. Action maybe thinking about expanding up here, too, if he can. This base is a complete bust for Ridesky. The 6 o'clock is in a lot of trouble here, too. Marines and Firebats trying to hold the high ground, but oh my gosh, Plagued. Even if you're a Firebat inside a Dark Swarm and you're feeling pretty good, the Plague really turns the tides on you immediately. Tank down, tank down. This is a beautiful, difficult execution by Action to shut down the 6 o'clock base. But Siege Tanks have arrived at your 12 o'clock base, my lord. And it's going to die. So trade for trade. No real drone counts here. These drones are. These SCVs are in trouble. No lurkers on the high ground there, intriguingly enough. Not like the last time the evacuation happened. Is this lurker still back here? No. Gets cleaned out. These lings get cleaned out. This base not getting replanted. Action going to lose a hatch. There are units trying to come and save it. God, nothing with these tanks. You can't just win with mass tank. That's the best thing about StarCraft, is that you can't just win with one unit. I mean, okay, look. Sometimes Zealot rushes, sometimes Ling rushes can win. Fair. But if you're at a 30-minute mark of a game, you can't just be like, okay, now I will make the win now unit and defeat my enemy. There isn't one. It's got to be a combination of units every single time. So this base survives from Action, which is massive. It is 185 to 154 supply in favor of Ridesky, plus he's down about 10 workers, so the army value is much bigger for the Terran than the Zerg. But Dark Swarm and Plague are the equalizers. If Dark Swarm and Plague didn't exist, Terran would win every single late-game TVZ known to mankind. It wouldn't be hard, but Dark Swarm allows the Zerg to hold on and make somewhat halfway decent trades against the good units the Terran has. 'Tis the nature of the beast. It's like Psystorm. Psystorm is really good, but if it didn't exist, Zerg would win every PVZ. Just easily. There'd be nothing that Protoss could do to stop them. So everyone's got their own tricks. Everyone's got their own tools of the trade. Really going heavy into tanks here. Still producing Marines and Firebats, but a lot of tank. Which I think is probably the right idea. Because eventually you have so many tanks that the responding Zerg army can't really do anything about it. Over ground, anyway. It's just she's tank dropping. Is he Ling dropping on these tanks? He could. He's got drops. Is he thinking about it? Who knows? 194 to 151 supply, though. Ridesky is desperate to win this game. He is macroing his heart out right now. All the way back up to maxed out. Still getting a ton of money here. The cost efficiency of the Terran units continue to happen despite the plagues and despite the Dark Swarms. Ridesky, middle of the map. Defiler not doing anything because action's attention. There you go. Was somewhere else for a second, but he got the plague off. Remember what I said about medics being really good and tanky? They are, but then the lurkers arrive, and then things get real bad for them. So this base is not back from action. This base is not back from Ridesky. The tanks can fire on that 12 o'clock hatch from this position, which is insanely overpowered. The distance there on this map, what a position to kill a hatch. So hatch does die. That knocks action down to 3 mining bases. 3. He's on 3 mining bases. The Terran is on sort of 2. Well, sort of 3. So even income is not ideal. Oh, not sure what that drone is up to at all. But hey, maybe Ridesky can win this thing. Again, I want to point out, action is playing better. But I think Ridesky is playing well enough, and he has enough of an economic advantage or an even advantage against the Zerg that it's going to work out for him potentially here in the long run. What a good game this is. Kindness Plating's on the way. We're going to maybe see some Ultralisks here, but with all the tanks around, I'm not sure that's the greatest of ideas. Fire Bats aren't very good against them, though, so maybe that's the idea here, is making the Fire Bats useless, which they're not, because you're still going to make Lings even if you're making Ultras, because you need a mineral dump. And the Lings and Ultras have a symbiotic relationship. This base has been cursed for Ridesky. He's had such a hard time mining from it. Still 4,000 mineral or gas there. Still 1,200 minerals on these mineral fields. What a plague. Expanding up this way is Ridesky. High ground lurkers can't kill the tanks, but the tanks can't kill them either. He relands the 9 o'clock and says the 9 o'clock is mine. I need it. Action says I need this. I need to retake this base too, but with the tank positioning, I don't know that I can. He's still trying to dislodge this tank position while Ridesky is long distance mining prematurely from this 11 o'clock position. This base, there are burrowed Lings in this. Burrowed Ling trap is sprung at the 9 o'clock. Again, the cursed base of Ridesky's entire existence. Big drop coming in top left to this 11 o'clock base. He's going to unload some stuff here, try to shut it down, but more about coming into this base. No, do not unload. 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 All right, well, he unloads, gets a Dark Swarm up, 1 lurker and a bunch of cracklings. The Lings pretty much evaporate. The lurkers are on the outer edge of the Dark Swarm and die. There is 1 lurker actually inside the Dark Swarm. The left edge is more protective than the right edge. I don't know why this is whatsoever. Is Ridesky going to win this thing? 190 to 170 supply. Action is still ready to go. Fully upgraded Ultras. Speed. Chitinous plating. Lings are here. Defilers in support. Siege tanks firing from 8 miles away. Just running into these tanks. I don't know, guys. You're trying your very best here. There aren't enough tanks to really evaporate the Ultras immediately before they get on top of them, but they are maybe enough to kill the Ultralisks. Yeah, all the Ultras are going to die, but the Lings on the follow-up, once the tank count has been thinned out enough, the Ultras did their job, and they shut this entire tank position down, getting a plague down on top of it, too. But so many Ultras died there. It's 180 to 130 supply. Coming up the left side, Marines with the 3-3 upgrades, obviously. The tanks, tell me they don't have the +3 attack. It'd be nice against these Ultralisks to have a little bit more attack. Fire Bats, late game, doing well. Siege tanks, 7 kills, holding the high ground. Don't go into the Dark Swarm. It's a little bit too dangerous in there. Ultralisk, 1 Ultra, 50% health, not going to do it. 1 Ultra, 100% health, taking tank shots, not going to do it. 180 to 123 supply. Action trying to get in here. Dark Swarm, yes. Fire Bats, yes. Plague, actually a bit of a whiff of a Plague there. Wait, did these guys get caught? I don't know. Felt like a bit of a whiff of a Plague there. That Ultra dies. This Ultra's hiding inside the Dark Swarm pretty much by himself. He gets killed anyway, though. Once again, you're not invincible inside there. Sometimes you are, sometimes you're not, which means you're not invincible inside there. 160 to 120 supply. Marines holding against these Lings. Firebats would be amazing. This Firebat is not participating in the engagement. Another Plague, another sick Dark Swarm by Action. He is doing so much today to win this game. Siege tanks exploding everywhere. 11 o'clock base is going to die. The bunker is trying to hold as much as it can, but as soon as it gets built, it pretty much gets exploded. Siege tanks rolling in. Medics getting wiped out. 146 to 114 supply. Tons of SCVs dying. There's only 35 SCVs now. We're going to get sub 30 here in a minute from Ridesky. If he's not careful, he gets the SCVs out of there. More Lings on Ultra running across the map into tanks, taking a lot of shots in the meantime. This Ultra gets 1, 2, 3 hits off before he dies, which is not exactly paying for himself there, guys. D-Matrix Siege Tank against Cracklings, not very good. That gets wiped out. This base is in trouble. Siege Tank dies there as well. Reinforcing Marines coming up from the bottom left. A little bit late to the party. If they'd been here a little bit earlier, would have been better. Action picks up the Lings that were going to die, puts them in the sky. There are no Goliaths to chase these suckers down. He's going to try to drop on this base. There are a lot of SCVs here that probably want to be mining here, but it's not a safe location. There's a Zergling cracking it. And then, dudes, pushing up into the 12 o'clock spot here. Not really going to work out in the end here from Ridesky, but I appreciate the chutzpah. Appreciate the balls it takes to get up here and try to do that while you're on the back foot. Action now up 124 to 110 supply. He was down like 40 supply 10 seconds ago. Now he's up 20 supply. Ridesky's losing so much. Has Action pulled this off? He gets into the cursed 9 o'clock base, shuts that down. These tanks are going to die. This is obviously not Flash playing. Ridesky is not that guy. He would have won that game from here, but I think Action has pulled it off. I think he's weathered an incredible economic advantage from Ridesky. I would not be surprised if this is a game where Ridesky outspent the Zerg player and the Zerg player won anyway. This has been a crazy showcase of how to play ZVT from Action's perspective. Incredible spellcasting everywhere. And I think this is it. Ridesky under 30 workers, under 100 supply, trying to land at this base. Can he hold it, though? I don't know. Is there a Ling attack into the main base coming soon? There's nobody down here to stop that from happening. He's not even bringing a defiler with him. He's just like, you know what? Let's just get inside the main. Let's park on top of the barracks. Tries to fire up a bunch. I'm guessing Firebats. No, he's making Marines. Oh, no. His production is getting obliterated by these Cracklings. We've got that base lifted. We have this base mining barely. 12 o'clock is back from Action. He needed that, and he got it. The starports are getting targeted. Well, I mean, the barracks lifted, so there was not much else to do. Firebats try to join the party here. There is a defiler, though. Check that action out. And Ridesky heading to this 12 o'clock, which is, again, the final mining base from Action. Hold on a second. Is there a world in which Ridesky wins this and he cracks that 12 o'clock? There's so much Dark Swarm here. The tanks are getting obliterated. Firebat count is not nearly hefty enough. Firebat goes in, dies after one shot, and I think that's it. I think the main base is getting ravaged. Ridesky cannot break this base, not with what he has, and I think he's going to tap out here. I think that's it. It's one base to one base, but yeah, that's it. GG, Ridesky. Action does get the win. He really turned it around in the last 8 minutes or so of the game. He was down in supply, he was down in base count, he was down in money, but he managed, again, just to be in the right place at the right time, microing in 4 different positions at once, killing so many SCVs, forcing liftoff on command center, sniping them as much as he can, Ultras dying, getting as much damage as they needed to win because that was all he needed. The Ling attack into the main base was awesome. Production capabilities from Ridesky were nil. And this is 132 supply from Action. It's not like he's maxed out, not like he's working with a huge bank. He has 86 gas and he won. It is a scrap-tastic showing, man. Wow. Absolutely insane TVZ. Ridesky with one of the greatest breakings of a third base I've ever seen in my entire life. The Wraiths The 3-port Wraith transition caught Action completely off guard, shuts down his third base entirely. He has to come from behind after that, getting a third base here instead, right? Holding on to it, losing hatcheries everywhere, just having to be everywhere on the map at the same time. Some of the best plaguing I've ever seen, some of the best dark swarming I've ever seen. The upgrades eventually got there. He switched over from Hydras into Morling Ultra. Once the tank count got high, he switched out what he was doing for what he needed to do from that point on and got the win. Craziness. Absolutely one of the better TVZs I've ever seen. Man. All right. 404,000 points from Action. 337 from Ridesky. 1,500 Zerg units were made in this game. 1,100 died. That tells you a lot what's going on here. Buildings raised. 13 raised by Ridesky, but 25 raised by Action. And then, okay, Action did end up outspending Ridesky, but it's close. It's only 2,000 resources in 43 minutes. This is effectively the Terran outspending the Zerg, but the Zerg winning anyway because Action is just that good, folks. He's just that good. Oh, man. All right. Well, that was a ton of fun. An absolutely fantastic showing there from Action and Ridesky. One of my favorite Wraith plays I've seen, maybe in the history of the channel. So thanks again for watching. That's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.